Thank you. I'm going to pull a Penny Alexia here and maybe go a bit off script. Watching those videos, I've been seeing them a bit of time, and last year I traveled to visit some of the Thrive projects just under the auspices of Hearing Stories. And I met both Rebecca and Caroline. And while I was in Canada, I only visited 4 projects. Those were 2 of them. And the stories and testimonies were so incredible. We were telling the team, we got to get them to tell the story. And now I think that there's literally thousands and thousands of communities that probably have the exact same testimony, that's similar to transformation. Wow. So first of all, I just obviously want to thank Penny. Thank you so much. Your friendship, your support, your belief in us, being a part of everything we're doing. Not many celebrity world Olympians you can talk into climbing Kilimanjaro, and those that have done it before will say suffering through it. Thank you. Kelsey, Megan, Peter, small group therapy. You guys are all such great friends, and your belief in what we're doing here and your sport, I just thank you so much. And lastly, the Front for Good team, those that are here, and the 100+ trainers that are all over the world. They're the real heroes, every day visiting communities, teaching them how to grow their own food. And to you guys, you're the fuel that actually provides this impact that we're hearing tonight. I want to set a little bit of context. I probably don't need to tell anyone in this room that since the pandemic, we have so much more resistance of war, changes to our environment, inflation that is affecting all of us, maybe outside of the hospital, not though. But with that, the poor are actually the worst. The stories that we hear, the testimony on your card, these are countries that inflation can be in upwards of 40%, not 15% market at the grocery store. These are communities that they don't have disposable income to absorb those extra costs. Dreams that these communities and the people, the dreams that they used to have, they're now far out of reach. Tables, they have far less meals. Kids, they're in school less in the countries that we work in. Specifically, as Peter and Megan spoke about, I want to talk about a country that's very close to my heart. The country of Eswatini. It's possible many haven't heard about it. It's a small little country bordering South Africa. It is known for the last reigning monarchy in Africa. It's about twice the size of the GTA. It's a small country. There's about 1 million people living there. I personally lived and worked in Eswatini for approximately about 7 years. I owe a lot to this country. It's where I met my South African wife, and we're now married for 15 years. When I lived and worked in Eswatini, it had the horrific title of having the highest AIDS rate in the world. Every other person was 50%. Today, it holds the title of stunting and malnutrition. The cost of malnutrition in the country is estimated to cost the economy $100 million a year. 22% of the kids in Eswatini are stunted. Their brain is not going to fully develop. Their bodies will not fully develop. It's what Penny, you were talking about nutrition and being at our highest level of performance. When you're in the ages of 1 to 5 and you're malnourished and stunted, that future is not accessible to you anymore. So there's an increasingly high rate of diseases across the country. Recently, our regional director in South Africa, he was traveling in South Eswatini and he was visiting medical clinics throughout the country. And he visited some of the rural areas. And he noticed a common trend that many of the clinics didn't have the medicine needed. People that were in desperate need could come. They didn't have the medicine to heal them, make them well. I think it was a while back, but specifically when I lived there, I actually stayed in an orphanage for 3 weeks. It was quite an experience. Every single day, with 27 orphans in this home, we ate millet. It's a form of a quarantine. 3 days or 3 times a day. On Sunday, we were lucky enough to get rice, a scoop of vegetables, and a piece of chicken. This is common throughout the country. Today, it's estimated that 360,000 people, that's a third of the country, are now in the range of acute food insecurity and malnutrition. They say there are 180,000 kids, of which 60,000 are in emergency levels of food insecurity, meaning not knowing where the meals are coming from and how long you have. To that point, just as I've been talking about, 60 people have passed away and died because of malnutrition and global hunger. It is a real issue that is growing and is getting worse. But there's hope, and we have an opportunity I'm excited about to change an entire country. Over the last 5 years, as Peter mentioned, Africa has scaled and expanded. We've actually grown 10x in size. Just this year alone, these heroes that are trained on our team, we've gone from helping 180,000 people to now working with almost 300,000 people around the world. The organization is scalable, it's efficient, it's lean. We have a high return on investment. And because of all of that, the last 12 months, the work that we've been doing in Eswatini, it got the attention of the government. Just last week, I had a meeting with the Minister of Finance, and he's approved a program for us to scale across the entire country in a partnership with the government of Eswatini. The way that the country is formed, there's 350 chiefdoms, and each chiefdom has an elected official called a social worker. And so these two social workers, they are there to help the community with their needs. And the government in partnership is willing that we can train these 700 social workers in every province and region and area of the country to be growing health champions. They will be the champions on the ground and the trainers to get testimonies like Caroline and Rebecca mentioned. To that extent, the opportunity we have to change this country, this isn't a Fund a Village project. It's not a Let's Fund This program. It's literally transformation. I think those of you that have worked in international development, you've been a part of the organizations working in relief work, those of you that have donated, you've been stakeholders, you know that an opportunity like this, it doesn't come often. I personally, as I mentioned, am so connected with this country, and it's just beyond me to think the partnership that we'll have next year with the government and to be able to do this. We estimate that just in the next 1 to 2 years that we can impact 100,000 people. But as Peter mentioned earlier, as well as some of the other things shared, that's just the beginning. For us, the way that we scale cascade training, this will go on for years and years, impacting hundreds of thousands more people. And even more, as I mentioned, with 22% of the kids stunted, these are changing generations when all of a sudden malnutrition and food insecurity are no longer issues. But in order to make this happen, we need to raise $100,000. $100,000 to support the entire Thrive Eswatini team next year, which will basically allow us to materialize in our partnership with the government. Earlier today, a donor that was not able to be with us tonight, he notified me and told me, even though he won't be here tonight, he's willing to match up to $40,000 of every dollar raised tonight. A $100 donation, a $500 donation, a $5,000 donation, he'll match it. It's really an incredible start, obviously, for this journey that we have for impacting next year. So, Tablespoon of Life magazine and Danger Source. You guys, not expecting this from everybody, but thank you for a first donation. We got our first $5,000 donation, so we're $45,000. So with that, I actually want to take time. You guys, everybody has donation cards by your plate, your pens around the table. I actually want to take the next 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and in all honesty, fill out the donation card. The capacity that you have, the belief that you have, you invite because you guys are generous people, you guys are people that believe in impact, you believe in scale. And with that, I will, as we're walking out, there's purple boxes that you can put donation cards in. If you do fill it out with a credit card, put your CVV number, there's not a slot, just put it on there. So that, I'm just gonna 30 seconds here or so, and I really want to challenge everybody to give it a serious thought and come along with us on this journey to transform this country. Okay, thank you everybody so much. Kelsey will come back up and kind of tell us what's all happening next. Really appreciate everybody coming out tonight and sacrifices you made. I hope that you have an absolutely amazing evening. Thank you.
But again, meetings, we have 5